Hey guys, yeah, let's talk Supergirl. The pilot for Supergirl is available online. It's coming out next fall. It's the first episode for Supergirl TV show. Now, you saw the trailer, and the show is made, or at least the creative director is the same guys from Arrow and The Flash are making this show. And the first thing you notice when you watch the whole episode for an hour, it has the same kind of build and tone that you expect from The Flash, except in that one pilot they crammed in a lot of stuff in there to make this show kind of like just jump off and go running. So the whole premise is, of course, Supergirl is sent to Earth right after Superman, or at least Kal-El, because he's not called Superman in this show at all. They say him, the big guy, Man of Steel. They call him everything else other than Superman in this. But she calls herself Supergirl because they kind of know that there. But she's sent right after Superman, and she's lost in the Phantom Zone for a while. That's why she arrives later. Now, one thing about the show that really, there's many things that kind of irk me with the show, because I kind of see where they're going with it. It's a very, they're trying to make this a very strong female presence, but I think they're going about it the wrong way. They're trying to force a lot of things. So Supergirl comes back. This is a spoiler anyway. I'm spoiling the whole thing. So Supergirl lands, and Superman finds her, and he decides he wants her to, kind of get that normal upbringing that she had. So instead of him taking her to his parents, he takes her to the Danvers, or at least a couple of scientists who helped him understand his powers, and they take care of Supergirl, and they have an older daughter. So she's raised by a whole different family, which means a whole set of people now know her secret identity. That's 3 other people there. Keep counting, 3. Then, as she grows up, she works for Cat Grant, who is played by Calista Flockhart. It's kind of like the opposing media agency to the Daily Planet. It's in a different city called National City. Now, she plays her assistant, and Supergirl comes off as being someone who is very unsure of herself, very doubtful. And I can understand it trying to take those tones, but, for me, it's very hard, especially when in this universe they developed, Superman's around. And if I have doubts, I would go meet my cousin, even though he's my younger cousin, but now older, and ask him for advice. She doesn't do that in any point in this episode at all. When she decides to, use her powers and save her sister, you see that in the trailer. She saves her sister. Her sister is so bloody ungrateful. I mean, she goes like, you shouldn't do it, blah, 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 this, and makes her doubt herself. And I'm going, why? And even when she decides to become a superhero, she still doesn't go to ask her cousin. She kind of, she pulls one of her co-workers / friends who supposedly they have a longer relationship, but we don't know what it is yet. And she immediately tells him like, yeah. So that's 4 people now that know her secret identity. Now, just keep counting, 4. She's trying to kind of do a quick montage of her learning her powers in the sense of using it fully for the first time. I understand she's used her powers before growing up, so she knows how to use them. But she still comes up as very unsure. Now, the actress who plays Supergirl, she does a decent job. She's not bad, or I'm not saying she's bad or anything. I just think that they made her portray a character being very vulnerable, which I just didn't find very believing, because I looked at it as, you have your cousin who's Superman. Everybody knows he's Superman, and if you need advice, you can go and ask him, but she's just so doubtful about herself in every case in point. And then she goes on some, she goes on a crime fighting spree, and she gets trapped by government agents. You find out her sister works for the government, and everyone in the government agency knows who she is. That's like 100 people. So she has 0 secret identity. Let's call it that. Oh, by the way, Jimmy Olsen works here at the news agency owned by Cat Grant. Now, the guy who plays Jimmy, I kind of like his attitude. I really didn't like seeing Jimmy being, that bumbling, idiot, or, ooh, geez, golly, Superman. But, it's this bigger dude. He's a photographer, and he played it cool. But the way they use the show, Jimmy's like that link between her and Superman, and you see that in certain aspects, and you go, why couldn't you just call your cousin, or go fly him, see him in Metropolis, stuff like that. Like, those are the kind of things that they didn't do well in the episode. The special effects probably not finished, but it looked cool. One thing I won't mention is that she doesn't understand she has super speed because she never uses it at any point. You know, kind of how like in Smallville, Clark Kent always used super speed. Flash, of course, is always fast, but she doesn't understand that she can use super speed with this one. And then in the Flash traditional fashion, there is an underlying villain they show towards at the very end of the episode. They kind of do the same thing they do with, you know, Dr. Wells and Reverse Flash. So you get that here, but everything is, so everything revolves around Supergirl, her attachment to her mom, how her mom plays in her life as it pertains to all the bad guys she's going to face, because it's all her mom's fault technically, if you want to put it that way. And the main villain is some general who's also related to her and who's her mom. So it's all about female empowerment, and I'm all for it, but the execution to me was not good. You know, it's almost like, you know what, now they've seen Mad Max, go study that, come back and do your pilot, because this can be a good show. It wasn't bad. I'm not saying it was a bad show, but I didn't see anything that would make me want to come back and watch it. It still looked definitely better than Gotham, because Gotham's kind of all over the place, and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is downright terrible as far as I'm concerned. But they have a lot of work to do. Maybe they leak this on purpose so that people can, you know, criticize this and can see what kind of issues they have or things they need to fix. But I think they need to concentrate on making her, you know, I mean, like literally to me, I looked at this when I finished watching the episode, I said, Superman's a douchebag. You know, you dump your cousin off with a bunch of strangers. You have your parents to Kent, even if it's just Mark Kent alone. You don't come by and give your cousins advice. When you see your cousins become a superhero, you still don't come by and say, hey, you know what? I'm glad you're doing this. This is what you need to do. Or if you need any help, let me know. None of that. You send people to do that stuff. So, I mean, they kind of make Superman a douchebag in my mind with this, because I know they can't bring Superman in. They can mention him, but it still doesn't feel right. You know what? To me, they should have just called it Power Girl and say she's Kryptonian and not have Superman deal in this universe. Because if you have Power Girl in there, she is not directly connected to Superman because she's from a different timeline and Earth 2 and all that fun stuff. And you can make it that way, and it'd be much easier to make a show that way, I think, than you having that. I know there's talk about tying with the Arrow and with the Flash. Hopefully those tie-ins coming quickly, because someone like Flash would help her understand how she can do her stuff, or the Arrow, because he's just more poignant and, you know, focused altogether. But you know, the show has a lot of work to do, I just have to say. But anyway, guys, if you've seen it, let me know your thoughts. Otherwise, don't forget to like this video, share this video, and favorite this video so we can make more videos for you. Do subscribe to the channel, and always enjoy your entertainment.